my goodness. Wow.
Hey guys, Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes. Have you wondered if home prices are going to continue to still come down like they have been here in Metro Atlanta? Are there different cities where they are more resilient and are more recession-proof in terms of home values? And are there any cities specifically where you are seeing that and there's a reason behind it that we don't know about? Yes, there is, and I'm about to unveil that to you. The city of Duluth, centered right in Gwinnett County, a very highly sought after city, a lot of diversity, huge Korean community presence, close to the interstate, good schools, amazing food, just an overall great family feel and a place that can be called home for young professionals. There's something interesting that's going on in Duluth, guys. Home values are not actually coming down as much as you would think, and especially for the lower price point. And let's be fair, the lower price point all across the board in Metro Atlanta is seeing a resilience in nature. Why? Because those are the starter homes. Those are the prices that are most affordable for people, especially first-time home buyers who are looking to purchase a home. But even more so in Duluth, and I'm going to explain why and how I'm going to do that. I want to dive into this little snippet here where I drive by a house that I sold back around August of this year, and it ended up getting a price that I did not expect. Even as a real estate agent myself who knows the market, I was thinking this home was going to sit on the market for a long time because it needed an incredible amount of repairs, guys. I mean, it needed to be gutted out. But the person who bought this house bought it for more than I thought, and the home did not sit on the market for as long as I thought. And then they turned around, gutted it, and rented it out, is what I found out later. I thought that they were gonna live in it because they had a reason for it that they told us at the closing table why they decided to buy. And you're gonna see that reason of what I've shared in this next snippet. But then I found out later that it's because they wanted to rent it out, which I still think that there's a good reason why they did that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video.
What's up, you guys? So I'm here, and I know you saw the pictures of what the house looked like before it got sold, and my gosh, like, oh my gosh, it is a complete transformation. So I'm right in front of the house here that I was just talking about, and so y'all can see that the motivation of people to live in Duluth is to such an extreme that they bought this house, albeit a smaller home, needed a lot of renovation inside and out, and tons of trees outside, that they still went to great lengths to purchase it and then do all the work. I mean, guys, you can't even tell this is the same house. And the other homeowner might be home, so they might be wondering why I'm filming, but I'm here in the afternoon. Guys, again, this house, I believe, sold for $375,000. It surprised me even. When my homeowner, my seller, I try to prepare her mentally for the possibility of it sitting on the market longer because of all the renovations that were needed. And the person who bought this house, they bought it because they said we have family down the street. It's hard to find a single family home under $400,000 in Duluth. Prime location off of Duluth Highway. Guys, sometimes we think of great school districts, and of course that is one of the biggest motivators for a home selling for top dollar and in a short amount of time. But there's other factors, as we can tell. This house here, actually, I sold this one too. Last year around this time, October 2024. And then when I sold that, the homeowner for this house called me when she saw my for sale sign out here in the yard and said, I want him to be my realtor. So I sold both of these houses. Same thing happened with this house. The person who bought this, they had a whole bunch of shrubs, bushes, not necessarily trees like this one did, but they just cleaned it out. They bulldozed it and landscaped it really well. So just an idea of what people are doing here in Gwinnett County, specifically here in Duluth, when it comes to trying to, basically renovate a house and call it their home. There's a lot of different factors that go into it. It's not just schools, and it's not just price. Location is what we say in real estate. And this is a perfect example of that because, see, it's right off of Duluth Highway. You got, I mean, they did a fantastic job there. I mean, it just doesn't look like the same house. So hope you guys like this. Just wanted to give you some insight as to what it means to purchase a home here in Georgia, in Metro Atlanta, in the North Atlanta suburbs, particularly here in Duluth, when we think of the best schools are in Johns Creek or Swanee, or even ones that are now getting a lot of spotlight, like Buford City Schools, Mill Creek over in Decula and Buford. But here in Duluth, even though despite the schools being like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 versus an 8, 9, or 10 out of 10, that there's still a lot of demand. The lower price point always has demand regardless of any market condition, whether it's a hot seller's market or a colder buyer's market. But here is an example of just that. Lower price point, single family, it has a yard, harder to find, especially with new construction. And really, you'll find houses that are for sale in Duluth that are in the $1 million price point that don't have a backyard. To me, it's crazy to pay $1 million for a house and not have a backyard. Sometimes those would sit on the market too, even though the house is immaculate and pristine condition with max upgrades and renovations. So again, this person bought it because they have family down the street. It was priced below $400,000. It has a backyard and no HOA. That's the one thing I didn't highlight earlier. Because no HOA means you can modify your home how you want, and you can also be able to, just have more freedom of use of your home inside and out.
So this house that I drove by, if you're wondering the address, is actually 2826 Pearl Circle in Duluth, Georgia, 30097. So it was listed for $375,000. We ended up selling it for $355,000, 9 days on market to a cash buyer. Now, yes, it was $20,000 below asking, but if you were to ask me, I really didn't think we were gonna get $355,000 either. Again, for all the reasons that I already mentioned just now. You can see in the pictures, I mean, it's vastly different than it was before. I mean, look at this. Trees in the front yard, so this is what it looked like. So this is when I had it listed for sale and I was trying to sell it. So you saw the after and this is the before. So all these trees in front, and then you can see here, you've got all these shrubs, all the different tree branches there. You've got, inside the home, which looks decent. I had her try to stage the home with her current furniture, but that flooring is old, although the pictures don't show it. The ceilings, they have a couple stains in them. Again, she had a tree that fell on the house, so she had to get a new roof, which is great, but it took a long time for the insurance to go through the claim process. You got, the kitchen looks really nice, but again, these pictures, they may look better than what it actually showed inside, but believe me, this carpet was super dirty. There's an odor that needed to be cleaned out, and we just decided to sell it as is because, not every seller has the money to be able to put into the home to get it ready for sale. So then in that case, it has to come off the sales price. Here's a sunroom, and you see it's not ventilated, it's not insulated at all. And really a lot of the issues were on the outside of the home. And again, you can't really see in this picture, but a lot of this siding had wood rot. It needed a new coat of paint. The windows were original and some of them were falling apart with a lot of thermal seals broken. It did have a nice outhouse, but then basically the trees on this house, you can see the overhead view, they're covering all of the backyard there. All of that was removed by the person that ended up buying it. So I wanted to dive deeper because while this was a great case study, I still wanted to see the numbers. Was this specific to Duluth, or could we see this in other cities as well, such as Suwanee, that I wanted to pull information from to see if these home values are really staying strong like I think they are, at least here in Duluth. Now, before I show you statistics, I want you to hone in on this one detail. If you look here at this home, this is in Cardinal Lake Estates. This is a beautiful, gorgeous, older community with hundreds of houses, and they've got a 55-acre lake with an optional HOA where you can do boating and fishing. This home in Cardinal Lake Estates is north of Highway 120, Duluth Highway. What does that mean? Any of the homes that are north of Duluth Highway 120 are in the Peachtree Ridge High School District, which is the better school district than Duluth High School. And Duluth High School is predominantly the main one in Cardinal Lake subdivision, because most of Cardinal Lake is south of Duluth Highway. But this listing particularly that I had was north of that in Peachtree Ridge, and that was one of the other selling points, as I had mentioned before. And let's take a look here at the stats that I want to show you. So here, all the homes that have sold in the last 12 months priced $400,000 or lower in the Duluth High School District, 94 listings, guys, 94, okay? Why is that shocking? Because if you come here, if you put in the city of Duluth, Peachtree Ridge High School, same stats in the last 12 months, that homes that have sold in the last 12 months, priced $400,000 below. Look at this, 10 homes, guys, 10 homes. So you go from 10 homes sold in the Peachtree Ridge School District in Duluth versus 94 homes in the Duluth High School District of Duluth. You can see there's a big difference. And they knew they wanted to be in the school district. Why? Because since they're gonna buy it as an investment, now they got it up for rent, that they know that families are gonna want to buy so that they got kids that will go send their kids to that school district, the better school ranking. And in addition to that, it would be the resale value of the home if they were to ever sell in the future. I mean, just take a look at this again. I mean, it was a shocking stat for me, even as I was researching. I mean, see how few homes there are available. For those that want to live in Duluth, but want to be in the Peachtree Ridge School District, there are so few to choose from versus that in Duluth. And so here's in real time what the search looked like. So this is FMLS, our first multiple listing service, and I'm putting in Duluth High School, 400,000 price range and below, and this is in the last 365 days. So yes, again, the last 12 months. And then I click results, and again, it came up with this number of showings. In this case, it was 97. So there's a whole bunch below 400,000. And then again, when you come here, and I tweaked the criteria, this time I left the city the same, the price the same, last 365 days, but I changed the high school to Peachtree Ridge, boom, there you go. And this search that I did, which was a little more recent, had 12 results. That's it, only 12. So this is when I decided to dive deeper into the analysis. I wanted to say, is it just Duluth? Let's go take a look at Suwanee. So this time I changed the city to Suwanee and I left the high school, the price, and the last 365 days on market the same. And why I changed to Suwanee is because there's a large portion of Suwanee that is also Peachtree Ridge School District because it's the south side part of Suwanee along with north side Duluth that has this school district that it's zoned for. So I changed the city from Duluth to Suwanee, found the results to be even less, 4 homes. That's it, only 4 available. So you can imagine that in Suwanee, there would be some demand as well there if it means wanting to be in that school district and area. So then I went back and I put in the city Duluth again, kept the school the same, kept the price the same, but this time I wanted to narrow down the search to more recent homes that have been sold. So I did 90 days, the last 3 months. So just in the last 90 days, last 3 months, there have only been 3 homes sold in Duluth under 400,000 in the Peachtree Ridge High School District. So in other words, when it comes to the nature of supply and demand, when you have more demand than supply, prices go up. When you have more supply than demand, prices go down. So despite a slower market overall in Metro Atlanta, when you look at the lower price points, when you look at the lesser amount of inventory than other cities, and in a particular location that people want to be in, that is why you're seeing here in Duluth, home prices are not really changing when it's 400,000 and below. So if you're looking for a starter home, you might actually have to look outside of the area, go further out to the outskirts such as Winder or Auburn in Barrow County side, or all the way up past Houston and Brazelton, closer to Commerce or even Gainesville. But of course, not everybody wants to live there, and that's not where their job is nearby, that's not where they prefer to live. So if you're looking to move to Duluth, just know in particular, this is the area that home prices are not really changing for that price point. And if you're wondering if there are any other factors as to why this area is still so hot, well, the one that I've covered just briefly, but I should expound on more now, is of course the number one reason why real estate sells. It is location, location, location. The location here in central Duluth, especially the Peachtree Ridge School District, where this house was located, where I sold, is in the prime location. You are just minutes away from Ashi Plaza in Southside Suwanee, big Korean market. You're close to a Kroger, a Publix. You're minutes away from a Walmart and the big H Mart shopping center, Korean grocery store in Duluth. You're minutes away from Sugarloaf Mills Mall, one of the best and biggest malls in Gwinnett County, and as well as Gas South Arena, where you've got all kinds of different events going on over there, musical related, theatrical related, monster truck related. So there's just so much going on here that people want to live here because of the location. If you have a question, leave your question below. I want to hear from you. You may want to know some more hyperlocal information. Of course, there's so many videos out there that talk about different cities and what are the pros and cons of each city, but I'm trying to dive deeper into the actual neighborhoods and locations of different houses, why they sell for the amount of money that they do. Why do they sell as fast as they do versus other areas where they're sitting on the market longer? I'm going to cover another video of a community in Duluth where the homes are sitting on the market much longer than this home that I sold, and there is a reason behind that that you're gonna find very intriguing and very interesting. Again, leave questions if you're wanting to know, what about this neighborhood in Swanington? What about this neighborhood in Johns Creek? Leave those comments below. I'd be happy to answer. Until then, like, subscribe, catch you on the next video.